Clark and her fans are on the verge of boycotting Nike.
So, lads, Nike has completely, and I mean completely, fumbled the Caitlin Clark collection. They've completely fumbled Caitlin Clark in general.
Whoever's making decisions for Nike has somehow managed to trip over their own shoelaces and hurt their head, leaving Caitlin Clark's fans fuming and Paige Bueckers' fans smirking. Nike decided to drop a signature shoe for Paige Bueckers before Caitlin Clark. You know, the Caitlin Clark who has been tearing up WNBA courts and rewriting history books while Paige is still hitting college gyms.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy John the Liquidator coming back with another video. And it looked like Nike has officially overlooked Caitlin Clark's signature shoe because Paige is about to drop one.
This isn't just a decision, it's a declaration of war, and Clark's fans are ready to storm the gates.
Nike struck absolute gold when they signed Caitlin Clark to an 8-year, $28 million endorsement deal. So why in the world are they ignoring her?
People are not blind. They can see that Nike is clearly ignoring Caitlin Clark. Some are arguing that Nike is punishing Clark for being straight. And these speculations has caused many fans to start boycotting Nike.
Like, when you get a generational athlete, you normally try to, build around said generational athlete. But like, if you are Nike, it's like, we get generational athlete, we build around, like, it's like saying, I don't know, you get the chance to build around LeBron James, but you decide, you know what, we're gonna build around Tim Duncan instead.
It's not like Caitlin Clark needed another reason to have a chip on her shoulder. She's already the poster child for putting the league on her back, selling out arenas, setting jersey sales records, and dragging the WNBA into relevancy with a game as sharp as a chef's knife and a swagger that could part oceans. And yet, Nike looks at this once-in-a-generation superstar and says, meh, let's give Paige the shoes first.
Only thing we heard about is Caitlin's $28 million deal and this little Rookie of the Year t-shirt. Other than that, Nike has not done anything to let the people know exactly what their plans are with Caitlin and how much they are getting done with her signature shoe.
The Bueckers shoe, priced at $190, is set to hit the shelves before Christmas. And sure, it's a big deal for women's basketball. But the question on everyone's lips is, why her first? Paige Bueckers hasn't even graduated to the pros yet. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, the reigning Rookie of the Year and walking highlight reel, is still waiting for her name to be stitched onto some high tops. Nike's plans feel as flimsy as a house of cards amidst cyclones.
Now, since she has signed this contract, you guys, and her WNBA season has come and gone. And with that, Nike has not done one thing to promote her. We have not seen any commercials, we have not seen any ads, we have not seen any Caitlin Clark merchandise, and we for sure as hell have not seen any Caitlin Clark signature shoes. It is mind-blowing.
And don't even get me started on the fan reactions. They're not mad, they're downright volcanic. Social media has turned into a battleground, with Clark's loyalists lighting up Nike's mentions like a Christmas tree. One furious fan tweeted, "Boycott Nike for what they are doing to CeCe," while another declared, "Nike execs are absolute clowns. CeCe is a gold mine and they completely ignore her." The outrage isn't just loud, it's personal. These aren't just basketball fans, they're Caitlin's disciples, ready to accept anything for her greatness.
One of them has a proven track record of every single piece of merchandise that they put their name to sells out in a flash. Sells out in an instant. One of them has signed a long-term deal with Nike that Nike are screwing her by giving her only $3 million a year when she's probably worth closer to $20 million a year. And the other is in college, has no proven track record of any of that.
I mean, look at the irony here. Nike signed Caitlin Clark to a jaw-dropping $28 million deal, positioning her as one of their marquee athletes. And what has Clark done since? Oh, just single-handedly uplifted the WNBA, brought in waves of new fans, and obliterated rookie records. Her jersey sales skyrocketed by 500% for crying out loud.
WNBA player merchandise for this year. Caitlin Clark naturally is number 1. Angel Reese, naturally number 2. If there is not something that is more Caitlin Clark effect than that, I do not know what is.
Meanwhile, Paige Bueckers, for all her talent, is still playing amateur ball. Yet, Nike decides that she's the one who deserves the first women's basketball signature shoe since Cheryl Swoops. It's the sportswear equivalent of giving the Oscar to a side character while the lead actress is still waiting for her accolades.
I love the GT hustle too, because they provide tremendous support and responsiveness, just being able to cut and move and be able to feel free in the shoes. And they're extremely comfortable, and I really like the design, the colorway, and all that entails with it, so I really love them. This is Paige Bueckers, and these are my GT moves. I'm always trying to build my skill set while also working on my endurance. For this drill, I'm gonna start at half court and I'm gonna run to the top of the key, catch, hit a combo move, and then pull up at the elbow. You gotta hit 5 shots to be complete.
This isn't just a bad look for Nike, it's a missed layup in front of a packed house. Caitlin Clark is more than just a star. She's a cultural phenomenon. She's got the poise of a seasoned veteran, the confidence of a rapper in their prime, and the game to back it all up. She's the kind of athlete who turns casual fans into diehards and skeptics into believers. By ignoring her, Nike isn't just alienating her fans, they're practically begging them to jump ship to Adidas.
Caitlin Clark signed a historic $28 million deal with Nike. And I'm here to tell you, that's all we have heard. Only thing we heard about is Caitlin's $28 million deal.
Speaking of Adidas, you better believe they're watching this train wreck unfold with popcorn in hand. Before Clark renewed her deal with Nike, Adidas was reportedly throwing some serious money her way. If Nike keeps fumbling the bag, don't be surprised if Clark starts to reconsider her allegiance. Imagine the headlines: Caitlin Clark signs with Adidas after Nike's epic snub. The sportswear wars would never be the same, but after Nike's disrespect, Caitlin Clark would have been better off with any sports brand out there.
Under Armour offered her 4 years for $16 million, which by a year-by-year basis, she would actually be making more per year if she had signed with Under Armour. However, it was a shorter deal. Under Armour came to her and said that she could be the face of the women's line on the Steph Curry side because her and Steph's game is so similar, and I feel like looking back in retrospect, that might have been the perfect place for Caitlin.
And then there's the matter of the rivalry. Caitlin Clark and Paige Bueckers have been compared since their high school days, with fans and pundits pitting them against each other like some sort of basketball soap opera. This shoe fiasco has only poured gasoline on the fire. Paige's fans are crowing about their girl getting the spotlight, while Caitlin's fans are sharpening their pitchforks. Nike, intentionally or not, has reignited a rivalry that could divide the basketball world like a bad officiating call.
I like the fact that Paige Bueckers is getting some stuff. But like, why is the college player getting a collection before the most popular player in the world? Like, I understand. Cool, Paige Bueckers, this is a very cool shirt. It says buckets. Like, this is an embarrassment. Like, the fact it's the only Caitlin Clark thing that's in stock. Like, you actually cannot buy anything Caitlin Clark except for the ugliest t-shirt in the world. It's the only Caitlin Clark thing that's ever been in stock. I'm sorry, like, I could make that. I could make that.
Let's not forget the broader implications here. Caitlin Clark isn't just a basketball player. She's a brand. She's got the crossover appeal of Serena Williams and the charisma of Shaquille O'Neal. She's the kind of athlete who can sell sneakers, jerseys, and, let's be honest, probably toaster ovens if she puts her face on them. Nike's failure to capitalize on this is nothing short of baffling. It's like owning a Ferrari and deciding to take the bus instead.
Now we know there is a date set at some point for Caitlin Clark's signature shoe to come out, and it just seemed like Nike is putting Caitlin Clark on the back burner. Now, many fans has definitely been vocal about this throughout the duration of the 2024 calendar year, and I'm here to tell you, there is nothing else being done with this shoe. Now, we know Angel Reese even got a damn shoe about to drop in like a year or so. Now, it looked like Paige Bueckers' signature shoe is about to drop in like the next 2 weeks.
Can you believe it? Nike putting Caitlin Clark's signature shoe on the back burner? Really Nike. First, you hand the mic to A'ja Wilson, then you throw Angel Reese into the spotlight, and now Paige Bueckers gets the golden ticket while Caitlin Clark is left waiting in the wings. It's like watching someone serve burnt toast for breakfast after promising a 5-star brunch. Distasteful doesn't even begin to cover it. This is the kind of decision-making that makes you wonder if Nike's boardroom is run by dartboards and blindfolds.
But like, this is the ugliest thing. This is all they've done for Caitlin Clark. All they've done since signing her to that deal. And it's just, every day you look at it and you're like, this is a bigger fumble. Because, like, you've got a gold mine. You've got an absolute gold mine in Caitlin Clark. And this is a company that's losing money.
And then there's the slap in the face of putting Paige Bueckers ahead of her. Don't get me wrong, Paige is talented and her potential is undeniable, but she's not Caitlin Clark. She hasn't dominated the pro scene, redefined a franchise, or sent jersey sales soaring 500% in a single season. Paige isn't the one breaking viewing records or dragging an entire league into mainstream conversation. At least not yet. But Nike has decided she's the priority.
What I am saying is that Caitlin Clark has proven herself. Why are you guys continuing to push other people over her when most of the people that's actually part of the league right now, the WNBA players, were not even good as her? So I know you guys are trying to be nasty, and I see all the interviews and the post, and everybody wants to say how great everybody else is versus Caitlin Clark. That alone lets me know Caitlin Clark is a phenomenal player.
And the fans, they're not letting this slide. Boycotts are being organized, petitions are circulating, and the backlash is growing by the hour. One particularly enraged supporter even suggested firing Nike's entire executive team, calling them out-of-touch clowns who don't understand the market. Harsh? Maybe, but also kind of accurate. At the end of the day, this isn't just about sneakers, it's about respect. Caitlin Clark has done more for women's basketball in 1 year than most players do in a lifetime. And yet, Nike has chosen to sideline her in favor of a player who hasn't even set foot in the league.
Yes, because reports is starting to come out online that Paige Bueckers actually has a signature shoe with Nike, and it's about to come out. Guys, this is unbelievable. Let's pull up this article right now. Article stated, Caitlin Clark overlooked by Nike as Paige Bueckers takes center stage in signature shoe launch.
What makes this even more infuriating is the timing. Caitlin Clark has been on a tear, dominating headlines and making waves in every sport she touches, even golf, for crying out loud. Her presence at the RSM Classic Pro AM turned a golf tournament into must-see TV, drawing fans who probably couldn't tell a birdie from a bogey. And yet, while the golf world is rolling out the red carpet for her, Nike is dragging its feet on giving her the recognition she's already earned.
I personally don't understand how a brand like Nike, who has had athletes like Serena Williams, like LeBron James, like Michael Jordan, who branched off and made his own brand in itself. However, I will say that Caitlin Clark has created more buzz around the basketball landscape and has actually transformed and revived a league that was the WNBA.
If Nike's goal was to alienate one of the most loyal and vocal fan bases in sports, congratulations. They've succeeded. Clark's supporters aren't just mad. They're organizing boycotts, petitions, social media campaigns. They're pulling out all the stops to make sure Nike feels the heat.
Like, I always said it, and I'm like, you know what? The only color Nike ever sees is green. When it comes to anything, they don't care about the outside noise. They don't care about appeasing other people. They just want to make their money. No, it seems like, you know, there's a hierarchy when it comes to Nike and women's basketball. It is Dolores' friend, Paige now, and then Caitlin.
And honestly, it's hard to argue with that sentiment. Caitlin Clark has done more to elevate women's sports in one season than most athletes manage in a career. She's shattered records, brought in new fans, and proven that women's basketball can be just as thrilling, if not more so, than the men's game. If that doesn't deserve a signature shoe, what does?
Now, a lot of people have been saying that Paige is actually better than Juju, and Paige is possibly a bigger star than Caitlin. I don't believe Paige is going to be a bigger draw than Caitlin. Caitlin has done something that no one else has been able to do. And quite frankly, Caitlin definitely laid the groundwork down for Paige and Juju to have the attention that they're having now.
Nike's decision isn't just short-sighted, it's a glaring example of how even the biggest brands can get it wrong. By sidelining Caitlin Clark, they're not just missing out on a marketing opportunity, they're actively disrespecting the player who's done more for their brand in the past year than any billboard or commercial ever could. This story is far from over. Caitlin Clark's fans aren't going to let this snub go quietly, and neither should she. If Nike knows what's good for them, they'll rectify this mistake ASAP. Because let's be real, Caitlin Clark isn't just an athlete. She's a movement, and movements don't wait around for brands to catch up.